What's up, everybody? What's going on, man? What's going on? What's going on? I hope everybody's having a good late afternoon, evening, for me at least. Man, this has been a crazy week in Top Shot, hasn't it? It's been really crazy. I didn't expect it to pick up like this. I even have like a clip for that. It really picked up fast. Neil, trade tickets. We're going to talk all about trade tickets. We've got one of the best people to talk about trade tickets that I can think of, Steve Veerman. He's in the saddle. He's going to come on in a few. Paulie, thank you, man. Thank you for making it over here from Australia. Yeah, we got Tandy NFTs. Let's have a whale of a time. That's what I intend to do. We're gonna have a whale of a time. So we'll wait a couple more seconds, see if anybody else wants to jump in. It's a little slow goings, but I think sometimes people come in later on, but it's all good. It's already midnight in Poland, so you're a real one, Catatonic. You're a real one. I know Catatonic is actually somebody who gave the Zion. He had that whole idea with that giveaway with the Zion, the RJ, and the Ja. So he's awesome. Thank you for being here, buddy. All right. Well, I think we might as well just jump right into it. People can show up as they want to. Let me just get this thing going right here. Hold on one sec. Because there's a lot to talk about tonight. All right. Let's get this going. Let's add this in here. All right, so here we are. We got the Tandy's 5 hot topics, and let's ask Al Horford to bring us in. All right, thank you, Al. All right, so the trade tickets are here. The trade tickets have arrived. And, you know, for a while there, for like 2 weeks plus, it seemed like nothing was happening on Top Shot other than WNBA Showcase challenges. And, you know, nothing wrong with showcase challenges. I feel like they're important and they're at their disposal. They might as well use them. But yeah, it definitely felt like we were watching tumbleweeds there for a while. So it's a very nice, refreshing thing to see the trade tickets come. And when those trade tickets arrived, they made like we're gonna talk about it in a second. They made like a blog post, and The Economist made a long blog post. Jacob made a video. You know, it was great. The only thing I felt from a user's perspective is there was a lot of information, and that's kind of something that Top Shot needs to get a little bit better on, I think, is just making it nice and clear, because you really had to start like studying for an exam to really get the full understanding of what was going on. That we also had this, what happened here, where somebody traded in Tyler Hero MGLE. Since then, it's actually gotten even more ridiculous. I mean, when I first saw the Tyler Hero MGLE getting traded in, I thought, what on earth is going on here? And I actually talked to the person who traded this in. He's a foreign guy. He was using Google Translate to talk with me. If you watched my video the other day, he basically said he wanted to like just kind of create some activity in the market. I'm like, well, all right, maybe it worked. I mean, you're seeing everything is kind of going crazy right now. So maybe he's a mad genius. I don't know. But yeah, well, like I was talking about, they had this long write-up. This was the part that I felt was kind of interesting, which is that additional uses for trade tickets may come at some point in the future. So obviously we can't read in too much into that, or else we're going to get ourselves in trouble. But obviously, to me, that means this is more than just getting packs, be them recycled packs, be them S1 packs. It seems to me that there's going to be more. And Top Shot Fund actually had a tweet about this where he kind of started to speculate what else maybe you might use this for. Maybe you might have in real life utility opportunities that you can use trade tickets for, or jerseys, or who knows what. So that's kind of cool. This is actually related to that post by The Economist, and I really just like this GIF, which is that it was too long, didn't read. You needed that little TLDR at the top. And finally, before we go to the next topic, you know, here's what we still have. We're about a month out. We crossed trade tickets off. We still have quite a bit. So I'm not sure if we're going to see all these things in the next 30 days, but ideally we at least get somewhat of an update. Next, the marketing faucet is on. You know, I was talking to somebody on Twitter who looked up Google AdWords, and the Google AdWords are showing, if you type NBA trading cards, Top Shot's at the top. This is Poker Pro Eric. He was doing his gym activities, and there's a Top Shot ad. there at the top of the room. The NBA official account is tweeting about Top Shot. We had like the 100 best moments of the year. I mean, it feels like it's all happening. So that's really exciting. Here's another tweet from the NBA. Steve wrote in his Twitter post that he didn't see a huge spike from this. What I think, though, that we're seeing is that the believers who are sitting on the sidelines, like before, they are like, all right, I'm going to ape back in once again, because what we've seen so far is there was that spike when that believers bot was going crazy like a month or so ago, and then it kind of flattened out. And as it was flattened out, I was thinking to myself, this is amazing. It is so amazing that we are flat right now. When all we had were like boring, kind of boring, let's be honest, showcases, challenges, and like things were flat. To me, that just indicated that people had a lot of confidence in this team. And now all of a sudden NBA starts tweeting about it, and it's going crazy. So that's awesome. The other thing that they added to the platform was this hot moments thing. I want to talk about that with Steve in a minute, because it's curious. Like, it's cool. It's like another added benefit to the website, but there's some curiosities about it. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Namely, like, is this something that people can potentially be led astray a little bit? Like, if they're a new user, they're going to start buying something because it's hot. Little do they know it's part of a challenge. That's something I was thinking about. You don't want to burn new users because they buy hot moments, and those moments are only hot because they're part of a challenge, let's say. Next, Top Shot is part of NBA 2K22. I don't know if you saw that. That was kind of interesting to me, because to me, obviously it's a big indicator of just like the culture that people who play video games are going to be learning about Top Shot. But also, I was curious about it because Top Shot's kind of like a competitor of NBA 2K22, I think. NBA 2K22, they're going to be selling cards and things like that. Top Shot is like digital collectibles. You could call them cards in a way. And what about when Hardcourt comes out as well? People might want to spend more time doing that because they can actually play to earn, things like that. So very cool. I'd love to understand why NBA 2K22 decided to do it, though, because to me, it's almost like taking away their market share, perhaps. And finally, let's just talk about a little NFT update. I don't know who here is interested in NFTs other than Top Shot, but I like to touch on it just a little bit. First of all, I got scammed tonight. This really threw me for a loop, honestly. That's why like some of my slides are out of order, because I bought this project. People were talking about it, and it wasn't officially linked on their website. So I looked up on OpenSea. I ended up buying 7, which is the most of like a particular NFT other than Top Shot that I've ever purchased. It wasn't that cheap either. And then I realized in a panic that I bought a fake collection, which is terrible. But the reason why I also wanted to bring this up is because 2 people came up in the clutch. Like, I learned about this project from this guy online on Twitter, GoTrilla Gorilla, and he's a great follow if you want to learn about general NFT stuff. And I was showing off my bunny that I purchased, all proud of myself, and then like I follow up and I'm like, oh crap, I purchased some fake goods. And he was nice enough to send me one. This is actually the one that he sent me. And I also warned everybody on the Discord about this fake marketplace. And then another guy in the Discord hooked me up. So I'm going to like get even after buying 7 false NFTs and feeling like a complete moron. Not only that, my wife was sitting next to me, who's also like familiar with NFTs. And she was just like, wow, you just like really screwed that one up. So I was really feeling terrible. But it showed me in the end how people in this space really have each other's back. And there's just like a lot of charitable vibes in this space. And it's just amazing. And I think we're going to touch on that in a minute too, when we bring on and we talk about like the whole trade ticket thing too. The next thing that you should know about is what happened on OpenSea. This guy, Nate Chastain, kind of front ran the published posts, the published NFTs. He would buy them, then they'd get published, then he'd sell them, and then he'd like filter the profits back to his original account. He then resigned. I mean, he fumbled the bag worse than Dennis Schroeder, that's for sure. The other thing I wanted to ask you guys about, just how we all feel about NFTs right now, because if you look at NFTs like this one, this NFT of a crypto dad is $4,000, the equivalent. And right now, you could buy a Luka Doncic Top Shot debut for that amount, or a Jason Tatum MGLE S1 for that amount. And so the question that I wanted to propose to the chat is, what do you think is going to be worth more in 3 months? Do you think the Luka or Jason Tatum MGLE will be worth more, or do you think that this Crypto Dad will be worth more? What do you all think? I'll give you a few seconds to think about your answer. Which one is going to be worth more? And I'm going to show off this fun clip I made for waiting. So which one's going to be worth more, the Luka, the Tatum, or the Crypto Dad? Where is that? Here we go.
We're waiting.
All right. It appears that the audience believes the Luka, although we do have Paulie right here. Paulie thinks Crypto Dads. Interesting. I'm curious, Paulie, why do you think Crypto Dads are going to be worth more in 3 months? Because my idea is that in 3 months, the NBA is going to be rip-roaring. There's going to be a whole lot more marketing. And the NFT space is, in general, very volatile. So, I mean, I don't know who's right. It's hard to say. I think personally, though, I'd probably rather be holding on to a Luka, especially because, like you're saying, in a couple of years it'll be Luka. I would think in less than a couple of years it'll be Luka, personally. But anyhow, I thought that would be like kind of a fun little exercise there. All right, so that was our R5, our hot 5. And next, we have my very special guest. If you saw the earlier video I recorded with him, we had a really good chat. If you haven't watched that yet, you should really do it. He is an early adopter on NBA Top Shot, and he's got a lot of really good opinions on things. He was actually just on LG's stream, so he's a bit of an NBA Top Shot celebrity, it seems. He's kind of like making the rounds right now. So anyways, let's bring him in. Hey, Steve, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you again. I see you have like a new Raptors shirt. Last time you had a different one. So it seems like you got a lot of Raptors clothing in your
you have no idea. I've got a lot of swag. I'll say that much. Yeah, most of it hasn't appeared on stream yet. So
yeah, that's well. I then you just got to keep going on new shows, and we'll just keep showing off your gear.
Sure. Every time I'm on, I'll wear something different.
Yeah. So first of all, I got to show off my video that I made to introduce you. I have a few videos I created, but the first video I want to show is for this segment with Steve, which we'll have more segments with more Top Shot whales. And so I decided we needed a video that really honored this moment.
I love it. It's great.
So yeah, there you go. There's Tandy and the whale. So first of all, I want to know, like, how are you feeling? Because I was really curious about this before we got this announcement on Thursday. Were you starting to get like itchy at all? Were you getting like itchy palms? The fact that nothing seemed to be happening, or you've been in the game so long and you've been through such droughts and such like craziness that it meant nothing to you?
No. I was getting really antsy. This was the longest stretch of time that like nothing happened. I mean, you said the showcase challenges, that's great, but when I say nothing, I mean like pack drops or something like newsworthy, right? And yeah, I was waiting for. I mean, we were all expecting at least 3 different announcements to come. Trade tickets, run it back, possibly some kind of a reward rake back system, and we were just waiting for it. And I mean, the off season's almost done, so we're just kind of counting down the days now. So something had to give.
Yeah. And I know that you were like hacking the mainframe. You were you were showing up like stuff that you were looking in the code about like what was going on behind the scenes. So did that kind of give you a sense that this was coming?
Yeah, I'm always like kind of just poking around a little bit. You can kind of look, with on Chrome, you can look at like the, what's in the JavaScript, and yeah, you can see things like the um, little strings, like the trade ticket string or whatever, right? So it's like, oh, the code is here. It looks like it's done. They had the images for the trade ticket, the actual the image, right? So I knew that's been there for weeks. So I was kind of expecting something to happen eventually, and um, logically, it made sense to me. You had to roll this out in stages. You couldn't just say, "Oh, we're going to do the system today," and oh, tomorrow we're going to do like the Series 1 release packs. Like, no, 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 no. This is such an experimental system. I knew this would take weeks of kind of tinkering. So to me, it made sense it would come first. A lot of people didn't, maybe not, they wouldn't have thought that. But to me, I thought they had to do it first because of the time between the testing and when they actually were ready to do the reserve packs.
Right. And is there anything else that you're seeing as you hack the mainframe every day?
I don't know. I see things. Nothing crazy. It's just like just minor things, really. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, nothing crazy. I mean, what can I say here?
I'll play a video while you go hack the mainframe, and we'll come right
Yeah,
back to
okay.
it. We'll see if you have any good
Exactly.
ideas. All right. So what'd you find?
I'm in. Okay. What was it? I got to watch Matrix again, but
I know, me too.
yeah, you know what? I mean, you can just see little things here. Like I'll drop one that hasn't been mentioned by anyone at
Ooh,
all.
here comes the alpha.
No one's mentioned something like this yet. But I'm seeing something here with the ETH moment price toggle.
Ooh.
So they have an option here to display prices in ETH. It's set to false. So they could enable it to true at some point. Who knows? Maybe it's an experimental function we'll never see. I don't know, but it's there. So it's been there for probably a month. And
wow.
Who knows?
So
Maybe, who knows, right? I think that's a part of their marketing now is, hey, guess what? You can pay in ETH. You don't have to pay with your Visa card, right? So it's been there for a while. And, I mean, there's little toggles like that. But, I mean, I could go on, but I think it takes away with some of the, I don't want to, ruin some of the, if they have their own release timeline, I don't feel like it's really in my place to say, oh, I'm going to talk about this feature.
Well, I mean, it's public knowledge. I mean, I'm sure you're not the only one.
It's right there. It's not like anyone who has, like can look at this stuff can open it up and see it. But
right.
But I think there's something to be said about, like it's probably not worth talking about a lot of these things until they're ready.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because then it's just like the speculation and again, they kind of tweak things often. Like you can see it's experimental. Like they have stuff in the build that's experimental that will likely never see the light of day. Like months ago, I think Own the Moment mentioned something about like a tournaments piece of code, right? And that was never going to be part of the app, but it's in there. But it was like it was an experiment, and so I think there's stuff in here that's an experiment. We'll never see it, so it doesn't always make sense to make to make noise because it might not ever materialize into something, and you wouldn't want to mislead people and say, oh, guess what, we're breaking this news story on and it doesn't, because then you have these expectations and then it feels like they didn't meet something. It's like, well, that was never really meant to be a feature, right? It was kind of just an experiment. So I don't know, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, fair enough. But I think as long as people understand that disclaimer, then if the information's in the code, then why not? I think it's cool to think about, at least with that disclaimer. And by the way, we have the Tyler Hero ticket trader in the chat, so that's kind of cool. And we'll talk about that in a second. So let's see what else I wanted to ask you here. So what do you think about this bounce right now, this market bounce? And are you buying anything right now? Like, are you sort of feeling a little FOMO, or how are you feeling right now about this bounce?
I'm always buying. Like I don't think I have gone more than 3 days without buying something, probably since I joined. Um, but I'm only typically buying if I sell something, and I don't sell that often. Like as soon as I get the Dapper, I spend the Dapper. Like I sold a Kyle Lowry base yesterday, and like I basically spent it all already, like on a bunch of other bases, Series 2 bases, and
Okay.
so I make one sale, and I'm just kind of buying other things I like. So it's just this constant movement between between different moments that I think are maybe underappreciated.
Mm-hmm.
And like I mean, I had a lot of Series 1, and so for me it feels good when I can kind of diversify into grabbing more Series 2. I think Series 2, it's going to be really special for the collector's score, right? That's the thing that's going to be kind of timeless, is how quickly you can accumulate collector score with Series 2, and that's kind of the thing that really gives a lot of value to it, despite the high mint numbers. Like I don't think we'll ever see something like that again with commons being worth 12 or 20 points each before a bonus. Like a playoff moment for me, because I have the full team set, like some random $6 playoff moment for me is 60 points for collector score. So $6, I get 60 points. Like that's to me, that doesn't even make sense. So
Yeah.
I don't see how that could be repeated going forward, because it just messes with the economy. Like I think in order for rares to feel rare, like there needs to be some incentive, right? Because right now there really is very little incentive to spend $50 on a rare to get similar CS, where I can spend $6 and do the same thing. So they kind of screwed up with how much the weighting with the bases, but and they admitted as such. But I guess I originally thought it was a mistake that they made on purpose to reward collectors from Series 2, but it looks like it was maybe just an oversight. But needless to say, I think people should be holding those moments, and I'm very hesitant right now about trading them in as trade tickets. So I would just I'd be really cautious about trading in too many Series 2 bases.
Well, I agree. They also said as much in the blog post. They said, don't trade your S2 and wait for S3. So is your idea buying a bunch of S2 to maybe move up from them later when people realize what you're saying, which is they start to realize that you can build CS so fast, and the floor on those will probably go up, and then you'll move off those and find somewhere else? Or what are you thinking?
Yeah, a little bit of that. I mean, I'll stack things because I feel like in the future, like when they're underappreciated, and in the future I can use them as a way to trade for other things I want, right? So
Right.
I'm hoping in the future I can trade those playoff moments for some other moments that I won't have, and
Sure.
because even though the collector score to me at this point, it's just like once you reach a certain amount and you qualify for the priority queues, it doesn't really, it's negligible how much you add on top of that.
Right.
So I think for me, like I think other people might find more value in them when they start to build their collections, but I'm already really happy with my collection. And so I'd have no problem with kind of trading some of those moments for future moments I don't have.
Gotcha. So first, before we go to talk about S3 for a second, behind you, is that your Nine Lives Lounge display?
No, I made this a long time ago. This is like an iPad in a frame. Yeah, so I just have it like looping through different moments. I got like my LeBron HOLO, but right now I don't think I have it on loop mode. It's just like a still.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like, hey, I had the iPad in a drawer and I wasn't using the thing. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I might as well, use a thing for an NFT display.
Sure. Okay. Very good. So I want to talk about S3 for a second. So I alluded to it just now, which was that they kind of told us, or Alan kind of said as much in the Twitter space and in the Economist wrote about in the blog, that like, wait till S3 to trade in your tickets, because we are going to make those as cheap as possible. Does that concern you at all? Because I never really worked out exactly why when S2 floors got so oversaturated, it affected the whole market. And I wondered, was that because people lost faith in Top Shot management and thought, well, these guys don't know what they're doing?
No.
Or was it something else? And if it was something else, then why won't that happen again when they release, circulation sizes of 80,000 on S3?
Hey, that's a fair question. I mean, when that first happened, like the February, kind of explosion, it was unprecedented, and I think it invited a lot of people that, regardless of the management of Top Shot, they likely weren't going to stick around. They were likely here because they saw it as like a, you know, free money, basically. Like, oh, I can buy a $10 pack and I can dump the contents for $100, like, or even more. Like, who wouldn't do that, right? Like, and I don't fault them for it. If anything, it just, Dapper, they weren't expecting the influx of people. So what ended up happening was, again, a lot of moments went to a lot of people who they didn't really want to hold them. So, and there was little incentive to hold them, right? But now with fan experiences and everything else, with collector score, like, it makes more sense to hold them. So I think just I think it's unlikely we'll see like massive dumps like that. But kind of going back a little bit, like, I understand they're going to have a lot of different, like the mint numbers will be really high with Series 3. Where I think this is going to be beneficial is with Series 2. I think a lot of people were buying the packs, and the packs were constantly they were constantly selling out because they were limited, right? People felt like, oh, there's only a specific quantity of these minted. I have to buy, I got to be in line. I got to buy them, right? Because it's once they're gone, right? And I think what Dapper's trying to do is they're trying to set the tone of, we're going to keep printing these things. So don't even bother trying to keep buying these things because we're going to print them. And I think the consequence of that is it'll likely keep some people away that were there to maybe flip or whatever. I think they're less likely to do it because now they're scared off with the possibility of, oh, Dapper's just going to print more and these things aren't going to be worth a whole lot, which I think is a good outcome. So I think there might even be less. It's weird to say, but because they might have, because there's more available, there might be less stress on the system because there might actually be less demand for those. And then, like, who knows what happens? They might mint, like, hypothetically, let's say they mint 200,000 of a moment. And let's say hypothetically they didn't sell out 2,000. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things that they can do. But I think what they want to move towards is, they've said this for a long time, is I think they want dollar moments in the system. Dollar moments, I think, allows collectors to put their foot in the door. I think I've talked to a lot of friends about Top Shot, obviously, because it's like a huge part of my life now. And some of them just don't get it. Like, when I explain NFT to them, and I try my best. And the ones that have, they've been, and they've put some money in the Top Shot, right? And but even then, like, everyone has a budget, right? So people aren't just going to join Top Shot and spend $500 on a handful of moments. I think that's very rare. I think they have to spend, like, everyone's probably okay with maybe throwing $50 at this thing, right? $50 when they join. They have to see the value. They have to see the marketplace work. And then they're probably more likely to maybe want to build their collections after that. But I think what was happening with in February, which was really scary, you had new people come in, and FOMO took over, right? So it was like more emotional than logical. And then they come in and they buy like an Ish Smith for $500, right? And it's like, well, that was a really poor decision. And I think that Dapper wants to make sure that never happens again, because those collectors, let's say hypothetically, they were huge NBA fans, right? And maybe they wanted to own something, and maybe that was the most affordable moment was this $500 Ish Smith. Maybe they got burned so badly they'll never come back, right? Because of that thing. And so I think Dapper just wants to make, inexpensive moments always accessible, just to get their foot in the door, right? So people can be comfortable with building a very basic collection. And then once they build the basic collection, I think Dapper would hope that they explore, better moments, right? They want to, they look at the other moments as aspirational moments, right? Oh, I got my mini collection here. Oh, I want a better collection, right? anyways, that's my long-winded answer on. I think the high mint numbers in Series 3, it's likely a good outcome, and I trust the team. They know more about this than we do. They have a lot of brilliant people on that team. So I'm not really in a position to question it too much. And I love that as a community we can keep them honest, but I think at the end of the day we just kind of have to trust that they understand the mechanics a little bit better than we do, and they have a better vision for what this thing will look like.
Yeah, and my buddy Phil Miller over here, he says you got to think it's going to be buy a common pack whenever you want, and Catatonic thinks, buy many packs whenever you get to, add to your collection, get to 500 moments. My only question about that though is there going to be a reason to buy $9 packs that have 3 moments in them if these moments are going to be driven down to be $1 per moment? Does that make sense? Like, is there a reason to buy a pack if like 85% of the time it's $3 in value?
I guess that's a good question, but I guess what I'll say is I don't. It's with the exception of maybe throwdowns, right? The most notorious set on the platform. Basically, every pack on Top Shot has been EV positive, right? This is the word that's thrown around. It doesn't mean that every moment in the pack has to be, like let's say a $9 pack, right? If you have 3 base common moments in it, doesn't mean every moment has to be $3. That can mean that 2 moments are $2 a pop, or sorry, $1 a pop. So it's $2, and then you could have a third moment that's worth 7, right? So I think on average, I think Dapper likely wants to deliver about $9 worth of value for a $9 pack, right? Or maybe $10 worth of value for a $9 pack. And that could mean, 2 throwaway moments, i.e. trade tickets potentially, and one moment you definitely want to keep. I don't know if that answers your question there.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that also kind of resembles the physical card situation in so maybe that is kind of where they eventually wanted to go. I think we were just so spoiled where we pick up packs and we're like, oh, well, why didn't I 10X?
We are, yeah.
So let's see. The other questions, and also just so I can use my video clips. I know that you're in the 9 Lives Lounge. Do you want to pull back that velvet curtain? Is there anything to share? Anything that's going on? Let's first pull it back.
That's great. No, that was actually the live look. I have the feed on this as well. So it's great that you. I don't know who gave you access to that feed though, because I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be a protected. Protected.
That was Luke. We're really tight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so in the last cult meeting we had, we were giving away or they were giving away jerseys. So I think jerseys was the thing last week. I think every day they were giving away NBA jerseys, and I think some days they were giving away more than others. But that's been the kind of the recent perk is, hey, if literally it was like Luke will make a comment. And I think it's like the 9 Lives Lounge Rewards channel, and if you like the comment, you're automatically entered in for the free jersey, and that's been I think it's been really successful. I wish they would kind of highlight it a bit more and maybe have just maybe some kind of maybe some more stats, like, okay, the 9 Lives Lounge has given away X amount of swag or whatever since its inception, just so people can kind of maybe keep track of all the value that's kind of been given out, because I think over time this might be lost. Whether it was packs or the Dr. Seuss thing now, right? That was kind of hinted, or not hinted, but it was dropped last week, where members of the 9 Lives Lounge, I always say that like it's hard for me to say it really fast. But,
I agree. Me too. I sometimes would say No Lives Lounge.
No, everyone's got a life there. 9 of them. You know what? I always thought of this too, because the 9 Lives Lounge thing was interesting, because I always thought that maybe one life was lost after they dropped the ball with Cool Cats, right?
You're right. It should be the 8 Lives Lounge.
I always kind of thought that, hey, maybe it should be like, hey, you guys, we gave you one chance. You already don't do this again, So it'd be like 8. And then every time Dapper screws up, you just kind of take him back a peg, right? I thought that'd be funny. But Yeah, so the Dr. Seuss thing, I'm still waiting on my invite, but that was advertised as a perk, as being in there as well. So I know some people have got it, which is great. I'm waiting for mine. I can't wait to kind of start my sticker book collection, I think it is, and yeah, do the thing.
Yeah, I want to ask about that for a second. Like, do you get excited about that purely because either you're a fan of Dr. Seuss or just because you just trust this team that you just want to, like, whatever they put out that's sort of similar to this, like, I'm going to go and buy all the Thing 1 and Thing 2 stickers because I just, what's your thinking behind it? I'm curious.
It's more just a team thing.
Yeah.
And like, I'll look at it the same way I looked at Top Shot initially, was like, okay, yeah, this money, when it leaves my account, like, it's gone forever. I'll never see it again. But maybe I'll have some fun along the way and be able to interact with the product, and hopefully the value that I pay for, I get in return, right? And if I don't, then I think there's a problem. But for me too, it's more like a good look at what the future might have in store for Top Shot. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen the Dr. Seuss thing yet, so I don't know how they do certain technical things. And I'm curious if maybe, possibly, maybe they have some of the same people that are working, or similar people working on both products, right? And maybe it's possible we see some things in Dr. Seuss before we see it in Top Shot, because maybe it's easier to do it in Dr. Seuss. So I'm curious to see just little subtle differences between the two products. And for me, just again, it gives me insight into maybe the direction of Top Shot.
Yeah, sounds like you're hacking into the mainframe again. I'll save the clip for later. But so Catatonic is asking, what do you think? A 200,000 common mint size?
I don't know, maybe. Right?
Probably 150K, says Hai San.
I forget the words that Jacob used, because Jacob he's a wordsmith, and he's very careful with.
Very careful.
Because the community loves to nitpick on every little thing, and so he's used the words, I don't know, I'm gonna botch them, but like something along the lines of substantially larger than Series 2. And if Series 2 had 40K, substantially larger to me is like at least a 2x. Like, we're not, so. But I don't know. I'm thinking higher. I think, again, they want $1 moments here.
Yeah. Hai San says Jacob already suggested that it'll be big. So another group that I know you're a part of, and maybe you can let us into the crazy den, is the Wolfpack, and I actually have a video for that too.
I love it. That's amazing.
So anything going on in the Wolfpack?
Yeah, there's always something going on. I mean, we have this like super long, continuous Twitter chat that is like, I always have it on mute, right? Because there's just so much activity that I'm just like, and I have to check it periodically throughout the day. But yeah, this group of people that I've met, because I mean, the backstory here, for those that don't know, we all met just because we were collecting throwdown moments, or doing the throwdown challenges independently. And then I think on like the first mint tweets, you get all like the normal hate for throwdowns, but then there'd be a couple people being like, oh yeah, I got my my challenge ready to go. And then there'd just be a couple comments on that for other people being like, yeah, I got mine too. And eventually we all just kind of connected, because we just kind of felt like we were the odd wolves or whatever, just kind of like doing the same foolish thing or silly thing that no one else wanted to do. And like the height of the throwdowns hate was the Diallo moment, right? Because I mean, he's not a very popular player in the league. I mean, on paper, everything looked cool, right? Because the throwdown moments are basically all past slam dunk winners, or slam dunk competition winners. So it's like, oh yeah, you know what? That'd be really cool to have that as a reward. But I mean, a lot of people already hated that. They weren't in love with this set. And so Diallo was one of the worst participated challenges on Top Shot. And it basically, this group of guys came together because of it, and we just started making jokes, because it was kind of our coping mechanism, and we just loved collecting it anyways. And we're like, we don't care about what anyone else thinks. They're not going to shit on our parade. Like, this is fun. And it's actually very similar to what happened with Cool Cats, right? Where like that group largely assembled because they all kind of felt burned together, and like collectively they wanted like basically a support group. Throwdowns was very, very similar, but it's smaller because it's a rare set, so you don't have as many. You don't have 2,000 people completing the set, right? So yeah, the Throwdowns group now is like 50 plus strong. And yeah, the Diallo thing, a bunch of us listed at $1 million, basically just to show everyone we're never going to sell these things, right? This is like this to us is like a moment that makes us all smile. And it's like, this is just hilarious. It's just a joke. So I, as far as I know, all the ones that are listed for like a reasonable price, they're not from anyone in the pack. So I don't know who those people are, but yeah, we're always like trying to get, we'll actively hunt for people who own them. Like we'll track down their Twitter handle from their Top Shot profile, and we try to add them to the group. You're like, hey, you're in the Wolf Pack, right? You were collecting with us this entire time and you didn't even know it. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's a great group of guys. And I wrote a little blog on it. So if anyone is remotely curious about some of the rest of the story, I described most of it, but you can see it on my Twitter.
Yeah, I read it. It was a great story. And I even like that graphic you used. It reminded me of like that "Are You Afraid of the Dark" intro on.
Yeah. I figured some people would get it, right? Like, because it was kind of like a ghost story, and it was like, So I thought it was relevant. So I'm glad you liked it.
So let's see. We've got a few more questions here. How do you think we get to 300 to 500 S3 moments in November to trade in? So I guess that question must be related to like, I guess the amount of packs being released, or Catatonic, if you want to just clarify your question. But do you have a read on that?
I think I understand this. I understand this. This to me still doesn't make complete sense either, because on one hand, Dapper is saying, don't trade in your tickets now. It's too soon. Wait for season 3. The problem is, well, they said the Series 1 reserve packs were coming out in November. It's like, that's the same time Series 3 is coming out. Is there enough time between the release of the initial Series 3 supply to accumulate 300 to 500 Series 3 trade-in moments?
Yeah,
I'm still confused how that's even possible. Because it almost seems to me like that. Like, I'll put it this way: if it was the same rules as Series 2, where you had to queue up for a $9 pack every week to get 3 moments, there's no way anyone can get to 300 or 500. That's basically impossible. So the only way, and then like, if everyone's expecting $1 moments in the market, like it's kind of like a thing where everyone might be racing for the same $1 moment, so you'll never see it. Everyone might be picking up $2, $3 moments. So I think the only, reading between the lines, like the only way that this is possible, assuming they haven't misspoke, is if they have this continuous supply of packs where you can just buy as many packs as you want, right? For comments.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because then it's like, oh yeah, you need 300 trade tickets. Guess what? 3 moments in a pack. Buy 100 packs. You got your entry. And I think that's realistically again, unless they misspoke here, but because I don't see with the time for when they start to when they do the Series 1 reserve, there's enough time to accumulate that many.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so Hai-san thinks it's going to be like a pack in a retail store for 8 moments. I mean, if that's true, that'll make it a lot easier to get to your 500. That's for sure.
I'm not sure if they're changing the prices. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. So my buddy Phil Miller over here, he's saying, do you know that you can rub elbows with Ja Rule in the Hustle and Show Discord?
I did not know this. Now I'm in the Hustle and Show Discord. I have so many Discords. Sometimes it's hard for me to visit all of them every day or whatever, but I have popped in there, and it's a pretty active Discord. I didn't realize Ja was in it though. Let me look it up. Ja Rule. Oh yeah. Wait. Yeah, he's in there. Okay. He posted once. August 14th.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, maybe he's been planning the next Fire Festival this whole time. He doesn't have the time to devote to the Hustle and Show Discord, perhaps.
Yeah, he probably is. You know, the one just picking up where he left off with the success of the first one, and you know.
So High Sun's excited.
I never. The first one was a big hit, right? I never.
Oh yeah, it definitely was. Don't watch the documentaries. High Sun says he's excited because not for investing, but for collecting, and that's true. You'll be able to collect like your favorite players for a few bucks.
I think that's the goal.
And this is actually an interesting take. Top Shot could have the box, like buying the box. I never thought about that. That's like the physical card thing.
Really, really cool. If you could buy like 24 packs in a box or whatever.
That makes perfect sense, honestly. I mean, if they're gonna say you can buy multiple packs, then why don't they just say, okay, buy a box?
Yeah.
You gotta keep your eye on that code.
I've seen it, but I like it.
All right. So next, I want to briefly touch on trade tickets for a second. I want to get your take because I think it was similar to mine. And actually no. Before we do that, because then we'll then segue over to StayMe7o. But before we do that, I actually have a little segment I want to do with you that's kind of fun, and it's called Genie's Wish. So here we go. All right. So this is the Genie's Wish segment. This is where the genie is going to pop into your room. He's going to be right in front of that custom display behind you. He's going to pop up behind you in a big pillow of smoke, or billow, whatever the word is. And here's your first option. The genie is going to say, Steve, I know how much you enjoyed playing one-on-one versus Obi Toppin in New York. I know how much you enjoyed that. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do it again, but it's going to be even better this time. It's not just going to be you versus Obi Toppin. It's going to be a 2-on-2. And you're going to be able to choose your favorite Raptors legend. So I don't know. You might want to be Vince Carter, Kyle Lowry. I don't know. Who would you choose, actually?
Would they be like the current in their prime, or like current day Vince Carter? Because I don't really want to play like broken knees or whatever. Like can't jump anymore, Vince Carter. I want to be play someone in their prime. You know.
All right, fine. It'll be any player from the Raptors in their prime. They'll magically come and play with you. Who are you choosing?
Then it would be Vince Carter.
Okay, so it's you and Vince Carter. He's lacing up with his super baggy shorts, and he's getting ready. He's there with you in Brooklyn. On the other end is Obi Toppin and Eisen Buckets, and it's going to be a 2-on-2 game. But if you accept this, in return, during your flight back to Canada, while you're eating your little bag of peanuts, one of your completed Top Shot sets at random will be completely replaced with 40K Lauri Markkanen moments, thanks to Dr. Jeremy, because that's his favorite player. That's the trade-off. So you get to have this one in a lifetime. You get to play with Vince Carter from 10 years ago, but in return, a random set, and you don't know which one it's going to be, will be completely replaced with some random 40K, in this case, Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah. You said it's completely random for the set.
Completely random. It could be you could be holding like a HOLO set, and that's replaced with 40K Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, I think it's an easy decision for me. I would absolutely do it.
You do it. Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So just rewinding. I got in this to have the experiences first, right?
All right.
I want the cool. I want to interact with the players. Like this is the cool part.
All right. Okay. I guess maybe that was too easy. Let's see if the next one is at all harder. Here we go. Let's play it again, and I'll ask you the next one. Okay. Here's your next question. The genie's like, all right, Steve, you've chosen to play with Vince Carter. I grant you that wish. And here's the tickets to New York, and it's next week. But here's your second question. You get immediate access to every Dapper Labs release immediately. You're like number one in the queue. UFC, NFL, professional bowling, whatever comes out. And you get immediate access to Dr. Seuss immediately.
Go on.
In return, so you're going to get everything immediately. But in return, the Raptors don't make the playoffs for 10 straight years. They're basically the bottom of the division for 10 straight years. They also make terrible free agent decisions for 10 straight years. They basically become the Knicks for 10 years when it comes to free agent decisions. And not only that, but as the flip side, because the Raptors become the Knicks now become great free agent selectors. And now like they make amazing chess moves, and the Knicks are now like on top. Like, I don't know if that bothers you at all, but the Raptors are bottom dwellers for 10 years. And not only that, it might last longer because they might sign someone on that 10th year for like a 6-year contract. So are you gonna
I couldn't be the one responsible. I couldn't be the guy that like did them in for 10 years. Didn't the Cubs have something similar with like a cursed goat or something like that, right? I don't want to be the cursed goat guy. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, 10 years of bad luck because Steve had to have his Dr. Seuss pack. That's bad karma, I think. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, it's not worth it to me. And you know what, let's be honest, after this is all over, like when I say over, like the COVID thing or kind of, you know, normal-ish, I want to have meetups with people. I want to go to games, and like it would kind of suck if those games were all like disappointments. So, you know.
All right. Oh, the very wholesome answers. Very good answers, Steve. You passed with flying colors. I think this genie will probably.
This is a job interview, right?
That was great. All right. So finally, our last segment before we bring on StayMe7o is we're going to talk about the trade ticket situation. So let me just find kind of 1,000 videos here. Let's play our intro. All right, don't trade me, bro. So first of all, what was your initial reaction when you saw these really nice moments getting traded in? Did that? I know you said the other night like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
but
no.
do you have any other extra thoughts since then?
Oh yeah. So I was all over the place actually when it first happened. I was like, I think my first thought was like I laughed. I think I took a screenshot and sent it to my friend. I'm like, hey, you know, like what the hell is this? And then the moments just kind of got like more ridiculous. And then like some WNBA moments. It's like, these things are worth money. Like, why would anyone do that? Just sell the moment, buy a $4, trade in moment, do it that way. And then we saw like StayMe7o with the HOLO. And my first thought was, well, before that, I'm like, someone's eventually going to trade it to Legendary. Like someone's going to do it, right? And I mean, the thought crossed my mind too. It's like, wait a minute. Is there a part of the system, like what happens if you do that? Like, because at the time, I wasn't really sure what the distribution mechanism, what that would look like. So it's like, what would happen if you did that? Like, would that break the system somehow? Like, would these packs just have a Legendary in it? You know, what would happen? And so, the thought crossed my mind, not that I was doing it. And then when I saw StayMe7o do it, I'm like, oh, he did it. Like, he was the one who was going to do it. And at first I was like, like the first 5 seconds, I was like, oh man, I would never do that. And then after that, I'm like, wait a minute, there's certain scenarios where that makes sense. And it's not obvious to everyone. I think more than anything, he'll always have like this title of being the first person to basically, donate or trade in a Legendary moment. It'll always be the first one. So that's a title that's kind of an interesting one. So he'll always have something to talk about. It's, like for better or for worse, like that'll always be like, that could be a $900 marketing expense, right? That he can just, he was the first one to kind of try to rock the boat there and try to shake the system a little bit. And so I can appreciate why he did it. And then like, I don't think at the time he even understood the distribution mechanisms of like how this moment could be redistributed. So I don't know if he would change his mind now that we have clearer answers on that, because now I understand that the moments themselves will only ever be distributed. Well, at least like the commons and stuff, they'll only ever be distributed in like the set packs. So like, series 2 base set packs, right?
Yeah.
Or series 2, maybe playoff set packs, or series 3, whatever base packs. So they're not going to mix them. They're just going to have the separate individual. And I don't see a scenario there's going to be enough legendaries to ever make a Legendary pack. So I know Dapper's mentioned before, like the idea of auctions. So I'm wondering if his moment will be one of the first that's auctioned off. But needless to say, my emotions were all over the place. And like even my thoughts were just like, what, but I get it now. Not that I would do it, but I get it. What I have thought about is donating like a LeBron Series 2, because that one would be in the packs. right? So if I donated to LeBron right now, I would have done it had no one else done it. But I looked and people are donating LeBron. So I'm like, I'm not going to be the guy. I don't want to add more to the pile. There's already a pile of them. But it's kind of cool that some people have donated these things. It's basically a community. I look at it as a community giveaway, right? Because oftentimes you see these things on Twitter, and I always say to myself, like, wait a minute, how do we know these things are legit, right? Like my post, I'll gift you. I see this all this stuff, not just for Top Shop, but for other NFTs. So like my post, retweet it, you'll get a free NFT. It's like, well, how do we know the mechanics of the drawing process? How do we know it was random and fair and whatever? With the trade ticket system, we know it is, right? You know, you donate a moment to it, it'll go to this pool, and like basically it's random. When you'll sure you have to buy the actual pack, but it seems really fair that way.
Yeah. I think Hi-San is saying put a LaMelo in there. I don't know if there's still none in there, but
that's interesting. That's an interesting one as well, right? Yeah, like the 40K LaMelos, which I think are like, that's a really interesting moment because
it's a nicer moment than his other one, right?
Oh yeah, it's his first points on Top Shot. It's a pretty good play too.
Right. Yeah, I feel very similar to you. I started feeling like this is insane. I could not for the life of me understand why this was happening. And then people started saying the same thing that you were. And I'm like, okay, so people are like it just showed me again how much this community like cares for each other. And I'm sort of surprised about it, honestly, because that has shocked me since the beginning, just about how like kind and generous the Top Shot community is. But it's such a large community. Because like I shared that story earlier about how I just got scammed tonight, and these people from this community hooked me up. But that's like a much smaller, tighter knit thing. Where in Top Shot is this large, very large community. So I guess I started looking at it slapping my forehead, and now I'm looking at it like, wow, this is like an amazing, amazing thing. So I think that's a good segue. We can bring in StayMe7o, and we're gonna ask him, why did you trade in a HOLO? So let's bring him in. And I believe, StayMe7o, I believe you're also in Canada. Are you? Are you in Chicago?
Yes, sir. Toronto born.
So we got two Canadians. There's a lot of people from Canada in the chat, apparently. People are talking about
Can Steve hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Hey, dude, it's great to have you on the same stream. Man. This has been a long time coming. Absolute pleasure.
Bro, I told you were a legend a long time ago, man. A long time ago. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you.
That's great. And I think also Steve, are you going to be on the Top Shot Boys stream? I think he told me you were. Pinoy bounce.
I haven't heard anything about it.
All right, then I made that up. But anyway, StayMe7o was on it. I was just on it. I think maybe he's reaching out to you soon. But anyhow, I thought that was also kind of funny. So anyways, StayMe7o, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. No So first of all, I got to play my special clip because this is an exclusive video footage of StayMe7o talking about his HOLO. Top Shot Talk did talk about a DM, but we have the exclusive video.
Just for me,
it's very exclusive.
All right. So anyhow, good to have you, man. So why don't you walk us through and tell us why did you trade that in? Why did you trade in a HOLO?
Well, first things first, I'd like to tell everybody I'm not crazy, right? I thought about it, and I'm just happy it panned out. But what people don't know is I did it for the promo, right? And
so Steve was right.
He was. But what I also
wait. I reused his words. He told me that as well.
Right. And I wanted to be the first. I did. After the Tyler Hero, I said, okay, that's kind of cool.
So Sinan is in the chat. He gets some cred. Sinan, you inspired StayMe7o. There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was for the locker room packs. It was free promo, and I'm the type of guy who likes to be there from ground zero. I like building. I like, being optimistic. That's just me, man, and I took it.
Wow.
But it's also funny. Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, it's funny because I had to go double check. It was September 2nd where I made a play for 5 of them, and when this came about, I was like, you know what? This is perfect. I have 6 holos of Christian wood. I'm like, you know what? Hey, man, shoot your shot, right?
And did it make any difference? Because I know Steve said that he was unclear about how they'd be distributed. I think I must have been listening very clearly to that office hours, because immediately when I saw those moments, I knew that those moments weren't going to be in the packs. So did you know when you put the holo in that these were not going to be in packs?
Well, when we're listening to Alan, he said how the MGLE2 Tyler Hero, it wasn't going to be in the pack, so I kind of knew, right? So I
So what do you hope they do with that holo?
whatever they plan to do with it, I'm completely happy with it. I've been in Top Shot since last June. I've made countless of profits. I've done countless of giveaways, and hey, man, it's just $900. I mean, sorry, it's not just $900. I know there's people who have it worse, but I've been blessed. I took my chance, and here I am.
Hey, and
Just giving
and
back.
I know, and I mean that's amazing. And again, that just shows me again how amazing the space is, because like this kind of community thing, sentiment, like for like a digital product, that didn't exist. I mean, that I never saw anything like that before February when I joined. And it's so amazing to me, because I'm guessing maybe it's the same for you guys too. Like when you joined Top Shot, initially it was this like rush and this idea that I'm early on something, I might be able to make some money, I might be like, it's going to be fun, but there was zero thoughts in my head about like a community aspect to this. Would you guys agree?
Not really. I thought there was maybe no money to be made.
Okay.
I thought it was like all community. It was pretty
All
funny.
right.
Like early on, it was basically everyone lived in the Discord. Everyone knew each other, right? Like
Right.
StayMe7o and I, we had lots of talks. I
Tons.
remember we went into it one time because we were trying to, I think, maybe trade, and like we liked the exact same things. So it was really, really hard to like.
It was the
negotiate.
synchronicity numbers.
Sorry, which one?
The synchronicity, like the 111s and
yeah. We like the same stuff, and I remember it just being so hard because we're trying to negotiate around these things, and it was almost impossible because we were too similar to like come to an agreement with what we wanted, because we wanted the same things.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So then you guys had that Discord experience. When I joined, I wasn't really paying much. The Discord was already total crap when I joined. It was already like just FUD and copy pasta, and it was just absolute garbage.
Steve, we gotta coin the term old era, bro. It's different. Top Shot old era. It's different, man. Before marketplace, before all the jazz.
I'm hopeful someday, like other collectors will hopefully Discord will be where it was kind of when we joined, because that was a different experience. It really was. I'm not just saying that. It was like a community. They had, not many people know this again, there was a whole market, there were marketplace channels, right? People would openly, hey, buy, sell, trade, whatever. And it was like all based on the honor system. That worked for like 5 or 6 months. There weren't any issues.
That's how we got our challenges done, right?
Yeah, it really was. People would cooperate to do challenges.
100%.
Man, it was crazy. And I'm hopeful one day the Discord will be back to where that was.
Agreed.
And I think probably a big part of why that it worked that way is because you all clearly knew that everyone else in that group were people who were like taking a chance on something that was like, no one knew if this was going to really work out. You guys are all in a very particular kind of niche of like digital collecting, almost crypto related, like people who had faith in the future of this digital platform. Right. Whereas now I feel like it's a whole lot watered down. It's not, you don't know who that other person is in that Discord anymore. It's like, so I think the times were different, but I agree. I think once we have like a collab land set up, and you'll be able to tell like, oh, the person I'm talking to has this kind of a collection, or they're from this kind of area, or there's probably ways that we'll get closer to what you guys had, but you probably can't ever truly replicate what it was.
Hashtag old era.
Old heads.
I like it.
One thing I was going to say though, so StayMe7o, you did it to kind of make a splash. You're now the first person to ever donate a holo. And you're also, I think I saw from NBA Top Shot talk that you're also like promoing because you're starting like a clothing line. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. So the hope is that people are like, just start paying way more attention to you because of this. And then
no,
No?
I had
Okay.
no idea the magnitude of it. I had no idea, man. All I knew is, hey, how do I tell everybody about this clothing line, right?
Mhm.
And the day before, the talk was Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero. And I woke up the next day and I said, you know what? Maybe I could build around that. And I don't know. I like to think quick. I think quick on my feet. I don't know. I'm just really happy I did it because the feedback I got, I had no idea. And then when I got DMs from Steve, I said, you know what? F it, dude. We're here.
So you're getting a lot of DMs right now about this, or like
I
people
got a
reaching
couple.
out?
I got a couple of like, dude, why? Why?
Yeah, I
Why?
think that's
Are
the
you
one that
okay?
makes
An
sense.
accident? Are you fat thumbed? Like,
did you hit your head?
you know? But no,
yeah,
I'm perfectly fine.
yeah, because when I first heard, I felt like this.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
That's how I felt.
Right. Yeah.
But that's awesome, man.
I get it. But again, like I feel blessed that, we are a part of Top Shot and we've made our X amounts. And I mean, what's giving $1,000 back to Top Shot? If it wasn't for Top Shot, I wouldn't own anything right now, bro.
Yeah,
So I thank Top Shot for everything.
That's awesome, man. And maybe they can make like a special giveaway where you include some swag, like a swag gift bag.
I mean, that'd be cool.
Whoever buys that Holo moment gets a swag bag.
Hey, listen, cool. Steve, when I order in my batch, I'm sending you a t-shirt, buddy.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's gotta have a raptor on it.
Where can I sign up for the shirts?
It's on my page. It should be in the website part.
Cool.
So that's at StayMe7o. We should probably.
Oh no, my Twitter is actually
S. Oh, that's true. It's not. Yeah. All right, I'll go look that up and put that up here. Actually, here it is. Huh? Here it is.
Yeah, I'm curious. What kind of shirts are you doing? What kind of design, or what's your like niche that you're working on?
Well, I don't want to put like a tag on it or whatever. I woke up one day. I just had this clever thought. I said, hey, I need to do this before someone else does it. And, it's just like another side thing. And I could just build it quietly by myself, loud, whatever, Cool. It's not like I take it personal. 8 streams of income, baby.
Absolutely. Now I want to know what the other 6 are. But all right, so that's where you guys got to go to get to stay up on this so you can figure out what's happening next. And also, Phil Miller asks, how do you one up yourself now? What's next?
It's a good thing I don't really look at it like that. I just wake up and I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
I don't plan to do anything, but if it makes sense, I'm down.
Oh, wait, I want to ask. So you said you had 4 Christian Wood Holos. Why did you accumulate Christian Wood Holo?
So one, they were all under 1K, right? And my thought was, hey, they're going to be a young, fast team. They have the number 2 pick, Jalen Green. Maybe, might give them some primetime games, put some eyes on the team. Christian Wood is a runner-up, most improved player. He was doing really well before he got injured. And, hey, man, just seemed right.
I like it. Yeah.
Just seemed right.
Yeah, so Top Shot talks in the chat. He's saying he thought you were up to something.
Yeah.
Clearly a clever mind thinking steps ahead.
Yeah, I try. I really tried to put like basketball knowledge into it. Like not just, I love my analytics. I love my analytic people, but sometimes it's just, just what you feel more than just numbers,
Yeah, for sure. All right, very good, very good. I think we'll rip a pack in a second. You guys can stay on if you want. Do you want to shout out anything else? I actually didn't ask you, Steve, if you want to shout out anything, but your handle's there. It's at Veerman. StayMe7o's handle we just showed you a minute ago. Here it is again, s.balltalk.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to shout?
I just wanted to say, hi to the Wolf Pack, obviously, right? That's a pretty awesome group of guys. With timeout, you doing a timeout?
Hey man, what's going on here? Because I'm clearly a big mellow Knicks collector, but hey, I could walk to your house, buddy. Not really. I don't know where you live. I'm just saying we're just close. That's what I'm saying. I'm from Toronto too.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Kitchener right now, but
oh, nice.
Yeah.
So am I able to sneak through a back door? I have a Diallo. What's going on?
You have a Diallo?
I
Like
can I double?
like a throwdown Diallo?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, dude, you're in. You're in. Automatically, you're in. Whatever. I like you. Even if you didn't have it, you're in. You're automatically in. I'll send you the invite after the stream.
I just want to double check, but yeah, that'd be cool.
Again, just a bunch of like guys just having fun about with we all love throwdowns, and I don't know. I just love saying hi to them on a stream.
Yeah, I get it. That's pretty cool.
Well, that is.
Goddamn amazing. Woo.
Oh man, I love Eastbound and Down. That's a great show.
I know, me too. All right. So, anything else you want to shout out? Stay Mel. You want to shout out anything else?
Thank you for having me. Shout out to Steve. I like putting the face to the name. I appreciate it. I've always appreciated you and continue doing the good work. I did not know about that E thing, so thanks for the alpha, bro. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad we could. I'm glad Steve could hack into the mainframe and give us that alpha.
Me too.
So we'll just play that hack into the mainframe video, and then we will rip a pack. All right. So chat, I need a little help from the chat. You guys can also decide what you think we should rip. Should we rip the playoffs pack, or should we rip this Series 2 release 45? I guess that must be pretty recent. What are you guys thinking? Steve, do you have a vote?
I do love the playoffs. There could be some good stuff in there. I like the plays more, I think, generally. What are you holding up there, Mel?
I'm just my ticket.
Oh yeah,
he's showing us the
yeah, you're in.
I just had to make sure I had my ticket.
How do we not invite you by now? This is I'm sorry. I'm disappointed in myself.
No worries, buddy. No worries.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like so we have 4. What do we have? 4 to 3 playoffs? I see. Hold on here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 playoffs to 1, 2, 3. Looks like it's 5 to 3. And Steve, you voted playoffs. So we got another playoffs vote. So I think it's looking like it's 6-3 playoffs. So I guess we'll just rip the playoffs then. Why not? Let's do it.
Release 1 too. So that's the first round, I guess, of the playoffs.
Yeah, this was because of a video I made with my son, reenacting the Jason Tatum assist from his back. So that was fun. So let's hope it's good. Let's hope we do a little bit better than last time when I got Braden Forbes. But hey, if it's another Bryn Forbes, that's okay. We're just happy that we're here. We're healthy. All right, let's do it. I didn't think I hit the music. All right, where should we go? You want to go left, right, left? Who wants to tell me which one you want first? Steve, you want to choose?
Let's go left.
Okay. Rights are common. All right, Dylan Brooks. He had a good playoffs. It's a pretty nasty slam too. Oh, that's the playoffs. That is the playoff moment. All right, so it's not a Bryn Forbes, but it's not a LeBron James.
Are there
either.
2 playoff moments in this pack or 1?
That's a good question.
I thought there might be 2 in these packs. I thought there were.
Because it's Series 2 release. No, it's the first release, right?
Okay, yeah, maybe you're right. I don't.
So I think it's only 1. All right. So Hai-san says we should go center next. All right, let's do it. Okay, we've got a Mike Conley. Hi, Serial. Mike Conley's a very slept-on player.
Very.
He's probably another like HOLO that was like under $1,000 recently.
Whoops.
Yeah, he's a great player. People don't seem to like him very much. I don't know why. All right, last. All right, Karl-Anthony Towns. I like Karl-Anthony Towns. I think that's a nasty slam as well. He's kind of another undervalued player. So a couple undervalued players, but we'll take it.
Hey, Steve.
Yo.
LeBron assist 40K or 35K, I believe, or LeBron block 40K.
Oh, that's tough.
Because I heard well, not heard, but I heard it's his first assist play, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Then I would probably do that. That didn't even occur to me. You just taught me something.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I went with the block. I started stacking the blocks. I think I have like 50 of them now. But I like
Both
to
are good
play
plays.
better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know.
It was.
So I went with
I think
that, so I'll
the block was on the top 100 NBA plays, right? I think. I forget what
Oh,
number.
I think you're right.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
the
No, I
block
just wanted
is
to
the
see your
better
thoughts on
moment.
that, too.
Yeah, block is the better moment. But I didn't realize the assist thing. I do generally like to sway towards the scarcity element of it
No, for
most
sure,
of the time.
sure.
But just as you said, like if you stack any LeBron, like you're not going to go, in my opinion, not financial advice. It's hard to kind of go wrong if you bet on LeBron.
Man, take it from me. Financial advice, buy anything LeBron James, buddy.
All right, cool. All right, so next we're gonna do a giveaway. Actually, Caleb Lesko, who has his own podcast called The Lowest Ask, was nice enough to give a Donovan Mitchell 40K. So we're gonna give away a Donovan Mitchell 40K. We actually have some questions here. You guys can talk. You guys can give some feedback there. I don't know what this is. What's LeBron KT? But LeBron Top Shot debut or LeBron KT? I'm not sure what KT is. But what S2 commons are you guys looking at? And I'm gonna queue up. Actually, before I do that, before you answer this, guys, if you're in the chat, and there's Caleb. If you're in the chat, throw some. Let's see, what should you write? No, just do ones. We'll make it easy. Type 1 in the chat so I can get you into this thing, and then we can let them answer this question. What other S2 commons? Oh, Kobe tribute. That's the KT. You guys can talk about that too. LeBron James Top Shot debut or Kobe tribute.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really tough one. I think it all depends. Like I'm in a position, I happen to have both, and I don't know, it's like picking a favorite child or something. They're both historic, so it's really hard for me to be maybe neutral about this because I'm not buying any one of them right now. I like them both a lot.
Same.
I think the biggest thing may be price. If there's a huge price discrepancy, if I have my heart set on one of them or both of them, and if the prices are like wildly dissimilar, I might be lean towards one or the other. If they're more similar, then I'd have maybe a tougher time.
And I think that's still a win too, so that's fine.
Yeah. For the previous question, though, for like which commons or whatever S2s, like I've been buying a ton of playoff moments myself, mostly like the $6, like the floors basically, because the collector score on them is just through the roof. It's 20 points for $6 for 20 points, and that's without any team bonuses or series bonuses or whatever. So like for me, every playoff moment I buy, I get 60 points. And like,
Crazy.
I don't see a scenario in the future because they've talked about like not allowing stacking and whatever in future series. So I think it's gonna be really hard to do that.
Yeah. So for collector score reasons, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, I see Terrence Mann here. That's what I like Terrence Mann. So the Top Shot debut is a really interesting one, right? Because I think last time I checked, the Terrence Mann Top Shot debut was like $15. I don't know what it is right now. But then his playoff moment was like $8, $7 or $8. So the playoff moment, in my opinion, it's a better moment. It's basically one of his career-defining games. It was like a playoff high or career high, maybe even 39 points. Like this is, if you're talking about potentially like the best moment or game of his career, this might be it. And it's minted less than his Top Shot debut. For me, it's like almost half the price. I lean towards the playoff moment, and you get the higher collector score. That might be a controversial opinion, but like for me, it's almost like a no-brainer. I'd rather have the playoff. No-brainer. Okay, if Melo agrees, then I'm good.
That's interesting. So you guys are saying you'd rather have the playoff moment than the Top Shot debut?
For man, yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. Especially with the price difference. It doesn't seem like it would be a harder decision maybe if the prices were the same, because there are some playoff moments where the debut is almost identical to the playoff moment. I can't remember off the top of my head which players, but there are some players that have, let's say, an $8 playoff moment and like an $8 debut. So that might be more difficult. But for man, it's like it's such a huge difference, and the fact that the playoff moment has better CS and it's just a better moment of his career, like to me, it's a no-brainer in that way.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely stacked some of his Top Shot debuts. I should have been stacking his playoff moment. All right.
$10 for play. So Man's moved up a little bit since I bought him.
So Hampton and Trent Jr. debuts are awesome. Melton. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
Melton.
Yeah, Hampton's debut is awesome, actually. I have that one, too. I have a few of those ones. I stacked a few of Hampton, Robert Williams, and Terrence Mann.
But what's the Hampton ad now? Because even this hustle and show, I felt like that might be good value compared to his debut.
When I bought it, it was around $20.
Okay, well, I'm looking
$21.
So
we're gonna queue up the race, and let's see, get that set up. So apologies to the judge. I know he got upset that we did a duck race, but this is the only race I seem to be able to run with more than 6 names. So sorry, judge. Let's get this going. Duck race. All right. Share that duck race. All right, guys, we're going to do the duck race. This is for the Donovan Mitchell 40K. So thanks again to Caleb and the Lowest Ask. If you guys are not subscribed to the Lowest Ask, it's at the Lowest Ask on Twitter. And without further ado, let's do this duck race. Let's see who wins it. We got 1 minute on the clock. All right. It's going to be awkward if Caleb wins it in this Donald Trump outfit over there. Hi, Sans. Hi, San. We got John Espy with the King's Crown. Usually when we did this last time, it's like whoever was in last place basically wins it. So right now, Dylan should be feeling good. Like Stephanie, your lead is probably not safe. Or Stefan. I think that's a French person. All right, we're down the stretch we go. We got 23. Exactly. How did you end up as a Trump duck? I don't know, man. I guess because you're giving away the moment and you got like all that just loaded, giving away Donovan Mitchell moments like it's nothing.
Oh.
Here we go. Dylan. Didn't I say Dylan should feel good? There we go. All right. All right, Dylan. Well, just like I told you, I guess I'm sort of hacking the mainframe of this duck race. Like if you're last, it's a good sign. So, Dylan, make sure you DM Caleb. I don't know who is Dylan. If you're in the chat, where are you actually? Tell us what your Top Shot name is, and DM at Caleb Let's Go or at the Lowest Ask. And that was a really cool dinosaur duck, I gotta say. All right, well, I guess that about covers it. Unless there's anything else the chat wants to talk about, we'll give you one more chance to ask questions to our featured guests before they're gone into the ether. Until the next time. So let's run that video.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
All right. So anyone want to share their feelings or ask some questions? All right, here we go. What's your favorite common set?
For me, like Series 1 base.
Okay.
It's like historic.
That's it.
Right. As well, StayMe7o. All right. Well, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else? We're going to let these guys go. Let's see.
WNBA rare drop. I see that question.
Oh, yeah. Are you excited? Oh, we got a few coming in now. Are you excited about the rare drop?
It'll be really interesting to see what how they do it. I mean, just speculation. I'm thinking like a playoff, I guess, theme set. Maybe they'll do like an NBA thing where the playoffs will be like the rare set, and maybe the finals will be the legendary. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Me for sure.
Yeah, you agree, StayMe7o?
Yeah.
All right. So Vancouver, Toronto. If Vancouver comes back, ooh. So I guess that must be like an expansion team, though. It's going to be hard to root for an expansion team unless they can get some nice players on that expansion team. But are you guys are near Vancouver, so does that mean you're going to start rooting for Vancouver?
You say we're
Still
near
home
Vancouver?
base.
Are you or no?
Not at all. I mean,
Not at all. So that's an easy question then for Steve, and you as well, StayMe7o. So I think the answer is Toronto. Sinan, go to sleep, my buddy. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for inspiring StayMe7o with your Tyler Hero MGLE. What tier will the run it back drop be? I don't know, Steve. Are you hacking the mainframe? Do you know? Does it
I
say
don't
anything
know any
about
of this
that?
stuff, but I mean, I said this on the first mint where if they do a rare set, like where are the commons coming from? We don't have enough commons in S3 to put in packs, so I think
Right.
they would have to do like I want this to happen. I want them to do like another historical tier that's maybe common.
They've
So
hinted
you
at
have,
that.
like they have, so it makes sense. So you have
in
like
between tier.
yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking like run it back would be rare, and then you have the historic commons as like the filler.
That would be so awesome.
I'd
Oh my
That would
God.
be amazing. But then like one step further, which I think is impossible, but it's the dream, right? Is the legendary. But for legendary to exist, you have to make the rare and you have to make the common set. So it's so much work for them to do that, but that could be so huge. And
Dude,
yeah,
a legendary Diana Taurasi moment. Are you kidding me? That will put up some numbers.
Yeah, and you know what though? What if they just like boom upside our head and they're like, oh, that 2 weeks where you thought we were doing jack nothing, we were like making thousands of historic moments. That would be amazing. I guess, do you guys have anybody you want to see in the run it back? Any particular players if you had to choose one?
Tracy McGrady on the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, it's a great.
good choice. Yeah.
You also want a Raptor, Steve?
Yeah, I want a Vince Carter in like a Raptors jersey. 'Cause, like to me, I mean Vince played on a lot of teams, but when I think of Vince Carter, I think of him in a Toronto jersey. I don't think of him in like a Hawks jersey or
Well, clearly not a Hawks jersey.
Even Nets, right? Like Nets for me, like that was a bad time for Raptors fans when he left us.
But that's just you guys being salty. I mean, those were like his best years, weren't they? Didn't he like go to the finals?
It's a touchy subject, man.
Yeah. No. This is the Raptors portion of the stream.
But in any event, I would love to see some Vince moments.
Cool. Yeah, I want to see like a special throwdowns dunk Vince moment where he sticks his hand through the hoop.
This is a great question. I love this question. What would I give for a number 15 run it back Vince Carter reverse on the Pacers? This is one of my favorite dunks. I love this dunk.
Was that the corkscrew? The windmill?
Yeah, it's like this windmill. It's on the baseline, and it's just like
Paul George.
Paul
George is running. Never mind.
No.
I think I got it.
Yeah. No, but this Vince Carter moment, if they ever made it, I would need to have that because that's such a crazy moment. I want to say Eric. No, who's the tall dude that was on the Pacers? Eric, something or another. He was a center. He dunked on him. But man, that moment would be amazing. I would give a lot for that moment if they ever made it.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Well, it looks like the questions seem to be perhaps slowing down.
Actually, you know what? On Melo's thing with T-Mac,
yeah.
As much as I want to see T-Mac in that Raptors jersey, I see the comments here like the T-Mac in a Houston Rockets jersey when he scored 13
points in like 30 seconds.
I don't know how they would do that in a moment because that's like so many. It's they would need some time to do it, but
I think they chop it up quickly.
Yeah, chop it up.
They could.
That's like what's his face on Twitter, Robert Williams or I think Time Lord TS at Time Lord TS, I believe his name is, and he's chopping up clips all the time. He could probably do it for them.
I would love to see him put together like a concept of that because it's so. Before that, it was like the Reggie Miller. That was everyone used Reggie Miller as like the gold standard of what you can do in like no time. Right? I forget how much Reggie did, but then after Reggie Miller was like T-Mac. And the T-Mac one was just like, every time I watch that YouTube clip, it just like I get pumped.
I know.
It just everyone and like I remember the fans were leaving too, and it's like all those dummies who just left the stadium and like they missed one of the best things that ever happened in the league.
Yeah, I remember that too. It was incredible. I'd love to see that.
I could have been Stay T-Mac right now because it's Melo and T-Mac. Those are my two favorite players all time.
Yeah.
No
love on Nate Robinson blocking Yao Ming, huh?
That's pretty cool. I would definitely own that, 100%.
For sure. I also would love to see Jeremy Lin. Honestly,
I would.
I mean, Linsanity. You have to own a piece of that, definitely.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to go to the Raptors game, like during the
You had
height
to
of
witness that,
insanity.
man.
I didn't witness that moment. There was a subsequent game they had like a couple weeks later
Oh,
at
okay.
Air Canada Center. But it was just still at the height of insanity, and yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, and actually, for me personally, I want an Isaiah Thomas on the Celtics moment when he just destroyed every fourth quarter. I feel like I
Yes.
need that. So Catatonic wants 90 Sonics. Absolutely, I want to see a Sean Kemp dunk for sure.
Yo, Steve,
Yo,
are you stacking any WNBA moments?
no, I'm not. There's a couple reasons for that. I guess the short answer is I again, it's pure speculation on my part, but I feel like the prices might be a little bit too high, and I think some people might have paper hands once they need to raise some money. It all comes back to like what I think people will do when they want to raise money for packs, and I think a lot of people who have WNBA moments right now, I'm not confident that they all have strong hands, and they might want to raise money for packs, and so that might be my
That makes a
opportunity
lot of
to
sense.
accumulate. So I'm
Especially all those generated usernames.
well,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Because I have all the moments so far, right? But what I did early on was I got in the Tarasi race. So I have maybe like 16, 17 right now. And Haku, you know that whale.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I know.
Haku, right? Yeah. Well, I think he's probably at like 100 right now. That price will not drop. So I figure I'll probably pick up like a couple more, chill at like 25, and then I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's amazing what can happen. Like, okay, even the Diallo thing, right? Because our group of the throwdown people, we collect the Diallo, but then like it's amazing what happens when people start hoarding a moment. And Diallo is actually a really good example because like that's not even a good. People don't even want that thing.
Honestly, when I found out, I was so mad. Like, what is going on here? But it made sense.
Yeah.
I liked it.
So, but just going to this other, the WNBA moments, those moments are actually really good. And so what happens if people start hoarding those? Like, it's just, you know what, when people start hoarding these things, and then that's when like the prices become more stable and then they slowly tick up. And
100%.
then, you know, I mean, that's what we're trying to get towards. And I think a lot of the floors in the platform in general are pretty weak. So we'll see more. We'll see more of that. I think more stronger hands as we go forward.
I mean, me and AG bought up like 80 quicklies like 2 days ago. His S2s. But yeah, man,
quicklies.
this stuff is just really fun, man. It's
For
just
sure.
fun.
So let's just try to run through a few speed rounds here. Do you think the collector score priority queue is going to go up, or you think it's going to stay the same? Like to get to the different priorities.
Probably stay the same. Actually, here's a thought that I had too is if the commons are that much worth that much less CS
They'll
going
lower
forward,
No?
I think they might not. Like this is actually, it might even add to the just keeping it the same.
Yeah,
Because
you're right.
that means new users. I mean, don't get me wrong, new users will always have a shot at any pack because the priority queues just mean you have a greater shot at the pack. But you can still get like a legendary pack if you have like no collector score. It's just like the odds are really bad. So what I think that does, though, if they keep it the same, is new users, they're going to have to pony up for Series 2 moments, Series 1 moments. And so what that means is like anyone who has moments right now, like they're basically just trying to make sure that that market is you know, it's solid. So I don't think new users will struggle. I just think they might have, like in terms of a guaranteed pack from the higher queues like rare and legendary, they might have some trouble. But I think it's all still attainable. Like for if you get a team set, for instance, from Series 2 and you do some stacking, I think for a couple $100 you can get enough where you might be able to go to the first priority queue or whatever, the second one, right? Where it's like the better shot anyways.
Yeah. All right, let's see a couple more here. Do you believe the WNBA drop will require WNBA moments?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so.
Because you guys hold them all.
No. I mean, even if we didn't, like, just logically, I think this. Even if I didn't, if I had 0 WNBA moments, to me, it would make more sense for the people who hold WNBA moments to somehow, because they're the collectors who want those other ones. Like, why does it make sense to give it to me, who, like, again, hypothetically, wouldn't collect them?
Right.
I don't know. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see one other one. When a player gets traded to your favorite team, this is kind of a general question. When a player gets traded to your favorite team, do you buy a moment from their old team, or do you wait until they get a moment from your team?
That's a funny question because I had number 5 Dennis Smith Jr., right? But he was number 4, but he went to number 5 the year after. And I'm like, hey, it's a jersey match, but it's not from the same year. So I don't know. This question is kind of funny.
But in general, like, do you sort of feel gross having to buy the player that you really love on your favorite team from the Raptors, but they play for like the Pistons? Or do you
I have
don't
never
care?
been a Lakers fan, and I will
you're a
have
Lakers fan.
100 Carmelo bases when I'm done.
But that's all obviously. Yeah, I mean that doesn't. I guess that's different because it's not a favorite team thing. That's a favorite player thing.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Here's a good question actually. On that note, Melo, would you be for collector score having like a way to, because right now you collect all players of a team, but would you be in favor of like collect all moments from like all common moments of Melo and you get like a boost or something like that?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's fair. Why not? You should be compensated for that type of stuff.
Yep, and I feel like they can get really granular with the way that they benefit different people for different things. It actually almost reminds me of like an NFT project by Gary Vaynerchuk, where depending on what little creature you hold, you get totally different benefits. So if you're like a Carmelo Anthony fan, you have 100 Carmelo Anthony moments, you get a particular set of benefits. Like you get on a Zoom call with Carmelo every month or something, like who knows? So, you know, the sky's the limit, and that's why they always tell us that they're like at the bottom of the first inning and they haven't even walked into the stadium and had their tickets scanned yet and all that kind of thing. But anyhow, guys, we're running kind of late. I know people will probably want to get back to what they are trying to do today. So I'm going to end it here, but I'm glad we could all hang out tonight. I really appreciate both of you coming by. It was really cool being able to bring you guys together too, since you've never really had this kind of interaction. So I feel happy that I could do that. And yeah, thank you so much for being a part of it. And until the next time.
Thank you guys
so much.
Steve.
Yo.
Be easy, bro.
Yeah, likewise. Good seeing you.
All right, cool.
All right, bye guys.
See ya.
Static Selector.